Hello, welcome to our live stream. I'm Jen from English with Jen 123. Every Tuesday, I have a quiz for you, 10 questions that are related to our topic of the week. This week, we are talking about English traditions from around the world. And so these will be 10 different traditions that we can find throughout different areas all over the planet. And it's the idea of this is to not know the answers necessarily. I don't typically know the answers before I start researching these things. So it's just an opportunity to learn something new, to practice your English skills, to interact with other people who are also interested in learning English. And so that's kind of how it works. Hello, Brad, welcome, got you. Replies back to each other, exactly. So here is our first question. Maybe I will stop this banner. If you don't already follow me, you can find me here. Hey, Serena, sweetie. Here we go again. Yes, thank you very much for joining. And actually, when we get like sort of a good handful of people here, maybe we can decide what time we want our lesson to be tomorrow. Ciao a tutti. So if you can make it tomorrow, I can make it tomorrow. So I was hoping maybe 9 a.m. Hello again, Yuki. Again, thank you very much for joining me and for sharing your Christmas traditions in Japan. And but we'll take a look. Let's see when we get everyone. Hey, Brad. Hello, Alessio. Welcome back as well to the second part of today's lesson. So we have a really cool quiz. This is one where I hope that we will all learn a lot together. And you'll, of course, be more than welcome to add anything that you like. Let me hide this. And move to the side and be able to present our first question of the day. So here is our first Christmas tradition. We are traveling to Poland. And here is what we've got. Let's see, I can't join you tomorrow. Okay, family Christmas party, totally understand. Hello, Gracie, welcome to you. So let's see. So what is Wiglia or Viglia, I guess, I don't know, in Poland? If we have anybody Polish in our audience, please help me out with the pronunciation. Is it A, Christmas tree decorating tradition? Is it B, a Christmas Eve meal with 12 meatless dishes? Hello, Renee, welcome, dear. C, exchanging gifts with neighbors, or D, singing Christmas carols? So which of these do you think? Renee is going with D, Alessio is going with B. Hello, Karina, my dear. What is your guess for this question? Serena saying A, question mark. I love it when these are not so clear. So Brad is going with C. So let's see. Let's get I think we have C, we have C, we have B, we have D. We kind of have everything except for A so far. So let's see. So the correct answer is actually, drum roll, B, a Christmas Eve meal with 12 meatless dishes. So Gracie, you're saying you would be able to join tomorrow. Then let's find a time when the majority of us can join. So let's see. So 12 meatless dishes, so 12 courses. And so they symbolize the 12 apostles that followed Jesus. The meal usually starts with when the first star appears in the sky. I think that's kind of nice. I love that. So the first star appears in the sky. Everyone sits down. A religious meaning, exactly. So Jesus had 12. We had disciples and apostles. I don't know what the difference is. You can tell I'm not very religious. Sorry about that. Hey, Lorena, hello. So let's take a look. What is the difference? Let me find my chat GPT here. Difference, and maybe some of you know this. Some of you are more educated in religion than I am. Difference between apostles and disciples. 12. Maybe it's the same. I have no idea. Let's see. So 12 disciples and 12 apostles are the same people. Whew. Hello to you, Fridays. Well, or Frito, hold on. Ferdabs. Welcome, welcome. Good evening to you. So Disciples are students or followers of Jesus. Apostles are the 12 disciples chosen by Jesus to spread his message. So the 12 apostles that were chosen, meatless dinner, meaning no meat. Exactly. Super to point that out. Exactly. So no meat. And yeah, they start when the first star comes out into the sky. And they start with foods like a beet soup. So like a red beet, like a root vegetable soup, pierogi, which I've heard of, and carp. Carp, isn't carp fish? So meatless, I guess it's like flexitarian. I don't know. So then the family often leave an empty place at the table for unexpected guests. I think that's nice. I love that. And that makes the evening go really long. When I used to celebrate with my ex, we had his parents-in-law over for dinner every Christmas Eve, and we prepared a meal that had many, many courses. And then that made the evening more enjoyable because it was like one thing happened and then there was a break and then we had another part of the meal. And so that made it nicer. I think my Italian friends, you do a lot of different courses for your meals. I think like you have the primo and secondi and I think stuff like that. Okay, I'm outing myself that I have no clue. A course is a part of the meal, a course. And you know me and the gosh, exactly. So a course is a part of the meal. You can have the first course, second course. You can have a 4-course meal, 9 a.m. CET, 5 p.m. in Japan. I can afford just 1 hour max. Okay, so that's the time that works best for you, Yuki, at 9 a.m. Okay. I'm going to make a little list here of who can join when. That's my trip to Spain. Let me find some scratch paper. So Yuki, I've set it right now for 9 a.m. But I think my South American friends won't be able to join. So we need to kind of see what's going on. All right, so courses. So let's move on to question number 2 and see where we're headed. Decorating Christmas trees. So we're heading to decorating Christmas trees. And let's see. Number 2. And here we go. I know, Brad. I know you're American. Okay, so where did decorating the Christmas tree originate? Was it A, England in the 18th century, B, Germany in the 16th century, C, the United States in the 19th century, or D, Italy in the 17th century? When do you think that decorating a Christmas tree first began and in which country? Which some of these were not even countries, but whatever. So, okay, Renee's going with C, okay, with the United States in the 19th century. What else can you tell me? United States, Serena. Okay, lots of people going, so Serena, C, okay. Brad's going with C. Unless he's being different. He's saying A, England. Okay. Serena's going with B, Germany in the 16th century. Pierogi is a dumpling, isn't it? I made it once. I loved it. I think it's something like that, right, Yuki? I think so. I've never had it. We will go to Poland in June, so I hope to eat it then. If it's that time of year. I don't know if it's specific to a time of year. We will see. Anyway, all right. So Yuki's going with B. Lorena went with B. And so for my 2 ladies who ended up going with B, you are correct. Decorating Christmas trees originated in Germany in the 16th century. So extra information here, early trees were decorated with apples, nuts, and paper flowers. Candles were later used to symbolize the light of Christ, and the tradition spread across Europe, eventually reaching the US in the 1800s. So yes, and today a lot of Germans still put real candles on the tree. If you saw my live stream on Iwa just now, you saw on Peter's side of the tree, he has real wax candles that get lit on Christmas. And so yeah, so that's what happens on Christmas in Germany. In many homes, they actually still use wax candles. I'm always like this, but yeah. And I actually have to say, I really like having light. Flick a switch on, and then you have the light. But it does look beautiful with the real candles. But yeah. Anyway, to each his own. And it's crazy, actually, how many things were invented in Germany, how many Christmas traditions came from Germany. It's pretty fascinating. So let's see. So we're moving on to the next one, to number 3. And we'll talk some more about Christmas stockings. So how do you speak English so fluently? Well, I come from the United States. That's why. So yeah. All right. So what inspired the tradition of hanging stockings? What inspired this? Is it a Christmas carol about gifts? B, the legend of St. Nicholas leaving gold for children? C, German Advent calendars? Or D, Secret Santa gift exchanges? What do you think? Hello, Natalia, sweetie. Welcome. Is it safe to put real candle light on the tree? He tries to place them so the branches are not above it. It's always so that the candle is here and the branch is here. It's dangerous for sure, more dangerous than electric ones, but it's just a German tradition. So many people who want to follow that tradition, then they continue doing it. But it is dangerous, definitely. Okay, so Alessia's going with B, Ranit's going with B, Brad's going with B. Serena says, my mother said to me that Xmas tree and Santa, Babo Natalia, didn't exist in her family before the end of the Second Mondial War, American liberation. Aha. And he's 91 now. Okay, so that came about later on. Thank you. That's so nice that you ask. It's so interesting to learn from our elders about these things. So in Italy before, that didn't exist, Christmas trees and Santa. But after, I guess that's World War II, I want to say, then that came about. All right, so let's see. Lots of people saying B. Yuki's going with D. She is 91. Yes, okay, exactly. She's 91. Wonderful. Lucky you have her. How cool is that? Okay, so those of you who said B, the legend of St. Nicholas leaving gold for children is absolutely correct. And so that is why, that's how that started. Leaving gold. I mean, this could only be for rich kids. I need to not say that so loud. My kids just get chocolate and sort of little junky things. So according to legend, St. Nicholas threw gold coins down the chimney, which landed in stockings hung by children to dry. Today's stockings are filled with small gifts, candies, and trinkets. Trinkets is a fun word, like little tiny things, objects, and this and that, keeping the tradition alive. I think I would like to have gold put into mine. I'm going to request that. I get eggnog. That's nice. I love eggnog. World War II. Yes. Okay. I'm a little tired now. No stress, Serena. All good. All good. So yeah. It's interesting how after the American culture started to take on in different parts of the world, how things started to change. And vice versa. We have in the States as well, where different immigrants come and then they change things in the States. And that's beautiful too. Interesting. I didn't know when Japanese started to celebrate Christmas. I think it's about the same. Okay, interesting. Yeah, we're putting the pieces together here and figuring it out. Okay, so let's see. We're moving on now to exchanging gifts during Christmas time. Okay, so let's see. Our next trivia question. Number 4. What is the word for small things? Trinkets. Here, I'll write it in the comments here. Thank you for asking. Trinkets. I should have written it. Trinkets. Little objects, little this and that kinds of things, trinkets. All right, so the tradition of exchanging gifts at Christmas is influenced by A, the three wise men giving gifts to baby Jesus. B, Roman Saturnalia, gift giving. C, St. Nicholas, or D, all of the above. What do you think? So what's going on? Why do people exchange gifts? What can you tell me about that? A, B, C, or D? Okay, so might be D. Okay, Renee's going with D. Serena's going with D. Lycia's going with D. D. Okay, so we have a whole sea of D's out here. So, and then absolutely, it is D. Gift giving combines religious and cultural traditions. During the Victorian era, so when we had Queen Victoria, exchanging gifts became a way to show love and family bonding. Today, it ranges from personal presents to charitable donations, when you can give money to someone or to some organization. And so I don't know anything about the Roman Saturnalia. I have no idea about that. I did learn years ago that at some point, I think the Roman Empire, I don't know, correct me please if I'm wrong, moved Christmas, the birth of Christ, to a Roman holiday, probably Saturnalia, in order to kind of create Christianity, to incorporate Christianity into the Roman practices and to make the people want to be Roman more. They introduced this. So yeah, so that's that. And I thought this was interesting because I always mix this up and I don't really know why. But when we go to the story where when Jesus was born and you had the three wise men, right? And they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh with them because each gift had a special meaning. And the gold was for a gift for a king. You would give gold to a king, showing that Jesus was believed to be a king. And frankincense is what they use in mass, right? And I love the smell. I love it. Used in religious ceremonies, showing Jesus's divinity. I will write that. If someone is divine, it's heavenly, right? Divine, divinity. Showing Jesus's divinity. Let me put that here and add it there. Divinity. Okay. Showing his divinity, that he was truly holy. And myrrh, the last one, is used in medicine and in burials, and it symbolizes suffering and death, pointing that Jesus's life was a sacrifice. So he was a king, he was divine, and he was human. What does Christmas symbolize? It's supposed to represent the day that Jesus was born. And that's how we celebrate it today, the day that he was born. Thank you for asking. All right. So if anybody wants to add anything extra, I know we have a lot of very intelligent people in our community who know a lot more than I do. So please feel free to use this opportunity to educate us all. I always love that. Otherwise, I'm slowly going to move on to question number 5 and check out Advent calendars. So let's see, Advent calendars. And so number 5. What was it? The last present was myrrh, and I'll write that. Hold on, I have to see how to write it. Myrhh. I guess it's an herb, right? And frankincense, I'll write too. That's what they burn in church. Frankincense. I think I've misspelled it. Please spell check. Frankincense, no S. There. C. Okay, there we go. Frankincense. All right. So there we go. So where did Advent calendars originate? Renee's going with A, with Germany, 19th century. We have B, 18th century England. We have C, 20th century USA. And D, 17th century France. Where on earth did the little calendars with the doors that could open, where you have a little picture, where do you think that this was invented? Lorena is saying C, 20th century USA. Brad's going with D. Yeah. And I will hide divinity. So the correct answer is Renee. You are very, very smart to go with A, to 19th century Germany, because the Germans really did a lot of our traditions that we know today. Exactly, Yuki, happened to come from the Germans. And, you know, and I wonder, because like Advent calendars were originally handmade. They were made with chalk marks and small pictures. Modern versions contain chocolates and small toys. Some families use interactive apps or digital calendars to count down Christmas. But it kind of makes sense a little bit that this would take off in Germany, maybe because they had the printing press. So at first they were done by hand and then they could be printed. This is where I'm going with this. I don't know. This is Jennifer-ish. I have no idea, but it makes sense somehow. Yeah. So originally from Germany, and let's see. And so let's talk about something that Yuki is absolutely going to love, our little baker and cook here in the audience. And let's see, this question is especially for you, Yuki, number 6. And here we go. So why did people start baking Christmas cookies? Was it A, to celebrate actually the new year, B, to use leftover bread, C, spices were expensive and saved for special occasions like Christmas, or D, to decorate trees? What can you tell me? Why did people start baking Christmas cookies? What do you think is the reason for this? What can you tell me? Why on earth did they do that? I actually made chocolate chip cookies, American style chocolate chip cookies, because my daughter wished for them. So not really Christmas cookies, but yeah. Anyway, so Renee's going with C, that the spices were expensive. We have Brad going with D. Yuki says C and D. Okay. Leslie's going with D, to decorate trees. Serena's going with D. Lorena's going with D. All right. So the answer is actually C. Spices were really expensive, and they saved these for a special occasion like Christmas. So once a year, you're going to have good cookies. You're going to have lots of flavor in your food. And so in Europe, holiday spices like cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg were rare and valuable, making Christmas cookies a special treat. Traditional cookies include gingerbread men, sugar cookies, and Spritz cookies. I love those. Again, Spritz, it's definitely German. Spritzgebäck. Spritz cookies, often decorated with icing and colored sugar. I love the ones where where it's kind of ziggy-zaggy. It's Spritzgebäck, where it's spritzed. It's sort of sprayed on in a circular thing. You have a cookie on the bottom, and then you have this sprayed part on top. And then in the middle, you have marmalade, like usually like some sort of raspberry or something. Oh, I love those. I love those, love those. I used to hang shaped cookies on my tree. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Bye, Brad. Take care. Let's see. Oh, I thought you said goodbye. I'm happy to have you here. Don't leave. I know everything about Christmas, you see. You do? I just made gingerbread cookies with sugar icing. Yes. Were those your skier ones? Were those the ski suit? Were those gingerbread? All right. So I think that's kind of interesting, though, to think about. You know, we think today, you know, cookies, you just go to the store, you buy them, no big deal. Back in the day, it's kind of like, you know, spices were expensive. It was difficult to have these things. So we have it pretty good in the 21st century, all things considered. Moving on to writing letters to Santa, a topic that we had. Hey, Mohammed. Moving on. Let's see, number 7. Okay. You didn't get a single one right. It's no problem. We're all learning together. I would not have had any of these correct myself. So no worry. No worries. All right. So let's see. Number 7. When did children start writing letters to Santa? Okay. And obviously this is going to be probably more from the United States perspective, because this seemed to have come to many of your countries after World War II. So A, 16th century, B, 19th century, C, 20th century, or D, the 18th century. Did Miss Reacher, gotcha. All right, so what could you tell me? When did children start writing letters to Santa? 16th, 19th, 20th, or 18th century? What are you gonna say? So Brad's going with C, 20th. Yuki's going with D, 18th. What, anybody else want to take a guess what you think when this might have started? And the first Christmas cards were pretty creepy. They were very strange. I've seen a lot of them on Instagram, and they're very weird. They look more like Halloween cards in a way than Christmas cards. So Serena's guessing B, and Lorena's guessing D, Yuki D, and Brad C. And we have another B. So the correct answer, Gracie and Alessio, just guessing. Serena is B, 19th century. Exactly. So letters to Santa became popular alongside the modern image of Santa Claus in the 1800s. So before he looked totally different. Actually, let me see if I can find maybe photos of Santa throughout the centuries. So the evolution of Santa. Let's see if we can find something fast, because that would be really cool to see what he looked like throughout the years. Let me find some images and see if I can find something simple. The evolution of Santa Claus. Sue. Okay, I think this is pretty cool. This one looks pretty legit. So this is kind of how Santa evolved over the years. He wasn't always the fat, round guy with a red suit on. He kind of changed, right? So he kind of started out with the halo, being really like a saint, and then somehow he starts to get rounder and rounder. Maybe it's all those cookies, like, I don't know. But yeah, okay, so that's how Santa evolved looks-wise. I was just curious about that. And yeah. So in the 1800s, the modern image came about, and today children sometimes send emails to Santa and yeah, participate in letters to Santa and that kind of thing. All right, so let's move on to number 8 and to ugly sweaters. All right, we're going to talk about those tomorrow as well. And I will have a proper lesson for you tomorrow. We do need to figure out what time to do that so that the majority of you can join. So let's see. I can offer you tomorrow kind of any time between 9 and 3, 9 a.m. my time and 3 p.m. We normally go live at 3 p.m. my time. I'm a little bit worried for my South American friends because I think that will be the middle of the night if we go earlier. So let me know. So ugly Christmas sweaters became humorous, and ironic in A, the 1950s, B, the 1960s, C, the 1970s, and D, the late 20th century. So what can you tell me? Coca-Cola created the latest image, wasn't it? I think so. I think that they really pushed that image for sure. So when do you think ugly Christmas sweaters, the sweaters that have like Santa drinking a beer or something, or Rudolph and his nose lights up? What can you tell me? So Lorena's saying D, the late 20th century, D. Any other guesses here? Yuki's going with D, Gracie's going with D. Exactly. So, ugly Christmas sweaters began as an ordinary fashion trend. I remember in the 80s, a lot of people wore Christmas sweaters, these Christmas sweaters, legitimately. They thought it looked good. It was the 80s. We did a lot of crazy things fashion wise. And then after that became really uncool to do. Hello, Juan Carlos. Welcome, dear. Then it came about, right? And it became popular again, and in sort of like an ironic and playful way. So like more in like the 90s, the late 80s, and the 90s. And so now people host ugly sweater parties, and some feature lights, music, and all kinds of fun pop culture references. So this became sort of a fun thing to do in the late 20th century, early 21st century. All right. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow, so I'm not going to elaborate on that. So let's see. Let's move on to number 9. And let's see. And we're talking about Christmas cards. And we will talk about those tomorrow as well. So let's see. All right. So when was the first commercial Christmas card sent? Was it in 1823 in Germany, in 1843 in England, in 1900 in the USA, or 1875 in France? What can you tell me? First commercial. So this is one that has been produced. It's not handmade. It's a commercial Christmas card. When do you think that the first one was sent by mail? So Brad's going with B. Okay. Who agrees with Brad, or do we have other options here, other ideas? What can you tell me? So, Lesio's going with B. Lorena's going with A. Okay, so the answer is B. In 1843 in England. So England was the first place where they did this. The first card was designed by John Calcott Horsley and showed a family enjoying Christmas with the words, "A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you." Sending cards became popular as postal services improved. Oh no! Hello, Big Thumbs. The answer is absolutely B. You are correct. In Germany. Today you learned a lot. Everything was born in Germany. Yeah, this one not. Sorry. I led you astray, sweetie. Sorry about that. So postal services improved by the mid 1840s, let's say. And so people started to send mail across country, to different countries more easily. It became more accessible. And so Christmas cards, people started sending Christmas cards. I know, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Our last one. I believe in you. The last one's going to be yours. We're talking about Secret Santa gifts. Does everybody know what a Secret Santa is? What is a Secret Santa? And we will move on to question number 10. You poor thing. So, Secret Santa, what is a Secret Santa? And what do you think is the main idea behind a Secret Santa gift? What can you tell me? Giving gifts is giving expensive gifts to friends, anonymous giving to promote generosity and community, decorating Christmas trees together, baking cookies for neighbors. What's the main idea behind Secret Santa and gift exchange, that is? Exchanges. Okay, so Leslie's going with B. Renee's going with B. This is kind of an easy one, right? Brad's going with B. So without a lot of extra noise here. So B is the correct. Love it. I love it too. I totally love it. I think it would be so fun if we could somehow next year do like a Secret Santa thing in our community. You know, like everybody, but it would be difficult to do. And that we would reveal it to each other in our stories. I don't know. I have to think about it. I think it could be so fun. But yes. Anyway, so it is anonymous giving to promote generosity and community, and you can do it with fun. It's a fun, surprise way of doing that. Participants draw names anonymously anonymously, and gifts are often small and thoughtful. Some workplaces, classrooms, and friend groups, use it to build community and holiday spirit. And I actually like it when it's kind of like one man's junk is another man's joy. I like it when there's kind of bad. I had a group of friends, and we did this for years, where we played Secret Santa, a round of Secret Santa, and what some people think is horrible, other people think is amazing. So it's always really fun. I always like kind of jokey ones, as not visually friend game. I'm not sure what that means, Gracie. Sorry. It is a sweet concept. I like the concept. I think it's nice, where you have at least you have a budget, or you say it has to be something you don't want anymore. Something that you just, like I said, one man's junk is another man's joy. Maybe you have an old jewelry box, you don't like it, you wrap it up. Somebody else is super excited to have it, and other people are like, "What were you thinking?" So it could be a lot of fun. If you don't mind, this is our last question for today. So before you go, if I could ask you please to let me know what times work for you, because normally we go live at 3 p.m. Does 3 p.m. work for you tomorrow? 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. We try to keep it kind of short, I would say. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. to 4:30. I don't know. So who can join tomorrow at 3? And I'm worried a little bit, like Juan Carlos and some of my South American friends, if you will be able to make it at earlier than that, because I think it's 9 a.m. American time, or I'm not sure. Is it 9 a.m. for you right now, Brad? Let me know. Because 9 a.m. this is now 5 o'clock. So whatever time, it's 5 p.m. now. I wouldn't want to go live later than this. So I would say 3 p.m. or either 12 p.m. or so. I don't know. So 3 p.m. also works for you. Okay. 11 a.m. Okay. We play every year with a group of workmates, I guess, giving anonymous gifts, and they have to guess who is the friend who gave you the present. Fun. Okay, so do you have to buy something, Gracie, for someone that matches that person, or more something that you like and they have to guess? This would be a good time. Okay. Now I'm in Mexico. And here 3 p.m. for you is 7 a.m. for me. Does that work for you? I prefer earlier than today. Definitely, it would be earlier. It would be because on Tuesdays we have our live stream on Iwa, so it would be an hour and a half earlier. It would be our normal time at 3 p.m. If the majority of you could come at 3 p.m., then like our normal time. Unless I'm drunk and fell asleep. Okay, Yuki. I kind of wish that for you. It just is a fun thing. Let me know if this is a good time. So 3 p.m. would be 2 hours earlier than now, basically. If that works for the majority of you, great. And for those who can't make it, then I would say know something that matches. And write some clues to make it easier to guess. Okay. All right, nice. I like Secret Santa games. I think they're fun. So let's see. So let's stick, I guess, with 3 p.m. If you can make it, wonderful. If not, no pressure. And maybe you can catch the live stream. Perfect for you. Okay, cool. Then let's switch. I have it right now scheduled at 9 a.m. my time. I will switch it, creating words. To 3 p.m., we go live. We try to keep it for an hour. If you can't make it, it'd be wonderful if you could check out the, okay, cool. Okay, Gracie, 3 p.m. is good for you. Sorry, Jen, tomorrow I will not be able to participate in your class. Totally understand. Peter's like, what? You're teaching tomorrow? What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I want to be there. Carmen is perfect. Awesome, Carmen. Thank you, dear. You always pop up at the end. I love that. So 3 p.m., folks, it is. I will put out a story right now so that we try to get as many people as possible. to be able to participate. See you next week. Merry Christmas to you, dear, and to all of our classmates. Yes, we will miss you, Serena. We will miss you, Lorena, and all of you who cannot make it tomorrow. Absolutely miss you, and see you then the following week. Our following week, I think we're going to talk about the year 2025. So it'll be kind of like a year in review. Yeah. Okay, folks, then wish you a lovely afternoon and take care. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for being here. You won't join tomorrow as well. Okay, so our Italian friends are out. So have a great, great day. Take care. Wish you all the best. Merry Christmas. Wish you lovely time with your family. Big, big hugs as well. Yes, to you, Gracie. Virtual hugs. And yeah, see you next week then. Some of you, and see you tomorrow for the others. And Yuki, hopefully with you. Take care. Bye.